Step one, unscrew this damn thing from inside the back trunk area. It's not a big deal, just lefty-loosey, take it off. Step two, find your shit. It's always under these seats. Pull the thing up under the seat. There you fucking go. And hands down, definitely the worst part. Once you find your stuff, like your tire, you find your jack point, which is right here behind the tire. It's where the metal meshes together. You'll see it. It's not a big deal. This Jeep jack right here, a little bit of some rotating. It takes a second, but you don't stress out. All you want to do is get contact. And once you've gotten contact, just make sure you're stable, which is very hard with this little baby ass jack. Alright, so now I'm getting some contact. Alright, it could definitely move the truck. Then we'll jump on to the next step. Next step is getting your wrench on here and having to muscle it through. Once you've done that, you can loosen. And you know you can loosen them up, and you just want to keep just enough tension on the bottom tire so it's lifted already. But you want just enough tension so it'll stay connected. And this will happen a lot where it's on too tight, and that's simple. This little lever, put some weight on the truck and then kind of step down. And there you go. That's enough weight and strength to go ahead and deal with them. This one right here has a 5 lug nut pattern. After that pattern, you're good to go. I'll show you the next step. All right, so here's the next step. You want to make sure that you can get them all finger loose, like so, and set them all in one spot. Make sure you don't have them in a spot where they can roll away. That happens because you're pissed off that you have to fix the tire and you're not paying attention, and you can just have that kind of issue. So I'm on the third one here. And again, just toss it out of the way. Fourth and fifth. All right, now we're going to continue with jacking it up. So this just has this little weird little motion, and now we need to jack it up enough to where we can take the tire off. Come on, buddy. This little jack does not have that much length to it, you know what I'm saying? And it's about to fully extend right now, which really sucks because I think this is the one that Jeep provided. Well, I might be eating my words because it looks like it's lifting up here. To be continued. Huffing and puffing because I had to use all my strength for that one. But here we go, this is the important part. Hands are gonna get a little dirty. Start from up here on the top, kind of just wiggle it forward. Get it to teeter-totter itself off. And there you go. Now, just roll it out of the way. And remember, that's gonna go in the back of the truck. All right, so there's the dummy tire. There's a part that's protruding out like a nipple and a part that's concaved in. The concaved in space, like this, you want to go that way. That's where there's enough room for the components. Here we go. And wouldn't you fucking know, this thing is way big. It looks like it'll fit, but somehow I'm gonna have to, fuck me, dude. I'll have to somehow get it higher so that I can mount it. That's gonna be fun. Okay, so I'm not gonna hide this from you. What I'm doing now is gonna expand this second jack because I'm gonna have to put something under. I'm gonna find like a piece of wood or something. I'm gonna brace the truck on this jack because I can't obviously put it all the way back down unless I put the tire back on, which will take forever. And since I need to brace it anyways, I'm going to get some pieces of wood. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, perfect. So, move this out of your way. If you look right here, I have the main jack that was supposed to be tall enough, but wasn't. So I got the secondary jack and put it on some wooden blocks that I found here. I'm going to slowly start releasing the main jack. I'm going to prop some blocks under there so I have that extra lift to get it up. So let's get this done. Okay, here we go. So I got the secondary blocks here, and I gotta do this real slowly because I'm about to put a bunch of pressure on these blocks and that secondary jack. So here we go. Now it seems like I was able to release tension on the primary jack right now. Nothing here is set in stone. So what I'm going to try to do is drop this down out of sight enough for 2 of those planks to fit under it so that I can then begin putting back up. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to that for you. All right, now we're back to the fixing your Jeep channel here. So now that I've done that, again, it's sitting on 2 pieces of wood there. That is not the most stable thing. This is not something you want to be doing. But in a pinch, it's doable. Alright, so here we go. Darn thing. We're almost there now. So what I'm trying to do is get it to a point where I'm adding tension. You get what I'm saying? And then I can tighten it up very slowly. So here we go. We're almost there. Here we go. Get this nice and centered. All right. Now we're going to put our lever in, and we're going to start cranking it up. We'll know it's completely off because we'll see the secondary jack have a nice piece of gap. Once it has about a good inch or 2 of gap, we'll start placing the tire. And there you see about like a 1/2 inch of gap. And we're still trying to go fairly slow, and there's a lot of force needed to crank this right here because it's like a screwdriver in there. You can see it's lifting, and I want to say this is a good part to see if we can jump it in. So here we go. Got my spare. I'm going to place my spare. I'm going to line up those bolts and set the 2 bolts on first, like so. Alright, remember it's barely teeter-tottering on there on that jack, so I'm sorry. Just going to put 1 on the bottom, finger tight it, and then start crisscrossing the rest finger tight. So I'll go ahead and leave you on there. I can't emphasize enough that make sure when you're doing the repair you're in a secure environment. Like right now we're on our ranch, and there you go, it's getting flush against there. And so I did the bottom, the top right, now I'm going to go bottom left, and we're crisscross pattern, pretty much doing all the work ahead of time that you would normally do while installing a tire. This is by all means not a full install on how to properly install the tire, but this will definitely give you the right idea of what you're supposed to be doing with this spare. Alright, so I'm paying attention this whole time to my jacks. On the right hand side, obviously one is completely inoperable. That was the secondary backup one. It has about 1 inch or 2 gap there, about 2 inches of gap. And now I am almost done threading these lug nuts here on to the tire. Alright, those are all finger tight. Okay, now I'm going to start loosening the jack enough to where I have tire touching ground and enough to where it won't spin. And I'm not going to fully release the jack yet because you just never know. So here we go. Bringing it down. See what I'm talking about? And now we're almost about to start getting tire to touch dirt. And once that happens, again, I want to tighten those lug nuts up. Okay, that doesn't look like it has any play. So here we go. We're gonna get another angle for you. And what we're trying to do now is really make sure that these are on tight. So I'll start right now with this bottom one. And I'm just gonna use some basic leverage right now. Nothing too intense, just what I could do with my arm. No major pressure yet. So that's the bottom one. I'm gonna go top left up here. Same thing. Nothing major yet, but I want to make sure that all of them are super tight. So I'm gonna go bottom right. And why? Because if this gets loose while you're driving, that could be catastrophic. I'm gonna go to the left. And catastrophic means the tire gonna come off. All right, and then top right. All right, now here we go. See now how I moved the whole truck when I did that? That's why you want to make sure that it's tire completely touching so that you're good to go. Now I've tightened them all with my hand, and see, going again, it was loose. So you go through all of them now, and then you kind of do this like body thing where you lean a little bit. There you go. Just kind of lean on that. There we go. Want to get that lean. There we go. Yeah, it's getting really tight there. All right, now I have went over them all. I'm gonna do it one last time. Nothing. Top right. Nothing. If you can move it again with just a little bit of force with one arm, it's not tight enough. You know what I'm saying? So then, there it is. The tension is just right. I'll show you the next step. Next step, super easy. Remember that tire, the flat one? 9 times out of 10 it can be repaired. So just throw it in the back, like so. Don't forget your stick. Door stop, whatever you want to call it. Then, because you don't know if it's going to work or not, I don't put it all the way away this first time. I'm about to set this in the back seat area because I think that's smart. Then you can completely finish the jack part because you're pretty much done. But you want to make sure you finish everything. So, don't walk into the jack stick. It hurts. And now, the truck is about 98% on the tires. And as you see, fully retract that little jack. This thing lifted this big SUV. I'm gonna say that's like a 2-ton jack or something like that. But these little pocket jacks, they're specifically made for your SUV. There's a little pocket in the seat. Then you have a little tab to lock it in place. And you kind of just bend it like that. And now it's just a tool to help with your jack. And now because I know that I might need these blocks, make sure they go with the truck. And if you're like me, your truck doesn't love you every time. But if you give it a little bit of some incentivication, you're good to go. And then all you have to do after that is roll out, because you completed your repair.
And don't leave your cell phone that you were using as the camera to fix everything. That's not smart. Later.